Prime Minister Modi's surprise announcement.
8 नवंबर 2016 की रात्रि को 12 बजे से वर्तमान में जारी 500 रुपए और 1000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहेंगे.
500 and 1000 rupee notes declared defunct. The demonetization had 3 goals: eradicate black money, block terror funding, and crack down on fake notes. For 3 months after the announcement, we became a nation of queues. 6 months after demonetization, the nation asks, what has the Notbandi drive achieved?
Since we were not able to pay by cash, online transactions definitely बढ़े हैं.
नहीं, हमने नोटबंदी के वक्त में जो कुछ कैश था किया और हमने कभी कार्ड नहीं यूज़ किया था. नोटबंदी के कारण फिर बैंक से हमने credit card liya.
Paytm account I have not started as yet using it, but other like online transactions I'm doing.
See, even the Beam app that they have put in, even that I've started using quite a lot because it has made it more easier.
6 months post demonetization, has anything changed on ground? Well, RBI's data for one reveals that cash payments are still predominant across the country. A December 2016 and April 2017 data by the RBI shows that there's been a dip in mobile banking, credit and debit card transactions.
Looking at the RBI numbers, after a sudden spike in online transactions, we now witness a dip. People are once again preferring to transact in cash. Mirror Now report.
You're watching the Urban Debate on Mirror Now. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for tuning in. It's a question that we must ask as Indians right now. It has been 6 months since demonetization. We stood in queues to withdraw our money. On the Urban Debate, one more time, we bring up demonetization to find out from our government what changed. The centre rolled out demonetization with 3 goals. Remember, to eradicate black money, to crack down on terror funding, and to put an end to counterfeit notes of the 500 and the 1000 rupees. How close are we as a country to achieving these 3 goals? Have we achieved what we set out to achieve? Because we remember, throwing the entire nation into disarray was meant to achieve certain goals. The question that I'm asking you tonight as a viewer, do you believe that black money has been removed to some extent? Maybe not all of it, to some extent from our system. Do you believe that terror funding has been removed from our system? And most importantly, do you believe that counterfeit notes have been removed from our system? Remember, when we also look at the numbers right now on the RBI website about cashless transactions, what we notice is that cash is back. A lot of people have gone back to using cash because the number of transactions on mobile banking, on credit cards and on debit cards have gone down drastically in the last couple of months. We'll bring you those numbers on your screen as well. But first, let me welcome my panel of experts. Joining me from the BJP, Narendra Taneja is the national spokesperson of the BJP who joins us on the show. RK Misra is the president of the Navbharat Democratic Party, joins us on the show. Akash Jindal, Professor Kamal Nayan Kabra, and of course Prasanjeet Bose are all economists who've tracked the process of demonetisation very closely over the last 6 months. Praveen Khandelwal is the Secretary General of the Confederation of All India Traders, joining us in Noida. We have all of these guests coming in right now. I thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. Opening statements from everybody. And then we'll give time for rebuts. I'm going to start with RK Misra. RK Misra, we talked about this a lot during demonetization, and it's a completely fair question to ask now because the government told us several times then, RK Misra, give it time. This is not an overnight process. After 6 months, when you look at where we are, Mr. Misra, do you believe we achieved what we set out to achieve?
I think there are significant achievement on 2 fronts. First, I think one objective was that unaccounted for money which nobody knew where it is, how much it is, it has come out. Now, it has come out in several forms. It has come out by people going and depositing. It has come out by way of people going and declaring their asset and paying tax. And third, people have gone and used illegal means like buying jewelry and things like that, and which is being investigated. So I think the hoarding of the black money which was in 500 and 1000 rupee notes, that has disappeared. And also now the government has put very stringent rules in how much money you can withdraw. So accumulation of additional black money is also significantly reduced. Of course, over 5 years, over 2 years, over 3 years, people will accumulate black money, but that initial burst which was expected in terms of collection of all illegal cash has happened. Now, investigation will go on, income tax rates will go on, and identifying the source, because the process is a techno-legal process, will carry on. But in effect, the black money, consolidation of black money, collection of black money, identification of black money, that was one of the major objectives which has been achieved. Of course, general public is more digital economy aware. They are using less cash. I think these two primary objectives, and as you saw in Kashmir, where the money was used to fund terrorism, significantly it has impacted them. Now they are forced to loot the banks. Earlier they were using the illegal counterfeit money and there was no dearth of money. So I think all three objectives have been achieved to certain extent, and certainly that collection of the black money which was hoarded by the people has suddenly vanished. It will get accumulated over a period of time, but that's one thing.
Akash Jindal, do you agree that we have managed to achieve some of those goals? R.K. Misra says the black money has come out and they will be able to trace the black money up till now. Although the RBI has not been able to give us numbers, RBI says they're going to take time. But do you agree, Akash Jindal, that the achievement has happened, that we have achieved something on the ground?
Yes, I think we are on the way to achieve. I wouldn't exaggerate by saying that we have already achieved substantial, but I think demonetization will have lot of medium-term and long-term impacts. Not only demonetization, but the follow-up action which the government has taken, like the 2 lakh rupees ceiling on cash transaction, like income tax following all those people who had deposited too much of cash, income tax conducting raids, and also I would associate GST, which would demotivate black money. I think there is clear-cut fear in the minds of those people who have made black money their lifestyle. So this would have a lot impact, and I'll tell you, this year when we see income tax returns being filed in self-assessment, there would be, I can tell you, much more people who will be filing their returns who were earlier not doing. There would be much more declaration from people, and those people who were into this black money lifestyle, they have got clear-cut message in their minds that black money days are over, it's on the way out. So this would be number one change. When you told about the advantages, one, you said black money, terrorism funding, counterfeit currency, there's another advantage which I think we'll get, that is a reduction of corruption. Now what happens is, with this 2 lakh ceiling, with PAN cards being there in all places, now assume if a government officer is accepting bribery and earning 15 lakh rupees per month as bribery, what does he do with that money now? One is, he had the option of investing it money. He can't buy jewelry for his wife for 5 lakh rupees because again cash is not allowed. He can't invest it in real estate. If he does it in Benami, government is on that track also. And if he wants to utilize that money on enjoyment like going for an excursion, because of GST and all those regulations, that would also be tracked. So that would demotivate corruption also. Some impact has been there on terror funding also, and of course on counterfeit currency. But I think what we have lost, the negativity, and why people are blaming, just give me 10 seconds more, this demonetization by calling it Notbandi, because in the short term, those 52 days, let's accept the reality, it was mismanaged. The government didn't manage it properly. People had to queue up outside ATMs. People didn't have money to buy provisions. Retailers, the business was impacted. And let me tell you, a first-hand account, the way regulations were being changes, frequent changes. I was doing back-to-back TV shows. I was not able to keep pace with the change in regulations. So businesses need to understand and adjust those changes. So otherwise, overall, in the medium term, in the long term, it is going to be a win-win thing. Some objects have been achieved, but in the long term, many objects would be achieved. And with the money being regulated, monitored globally also, our GDP would be higher, we'll have a better image, and we'll have more funding. So overall, I think in the medium term and long term, it's going to be very beneficial for the economy.
Prasanjeet Bose joins us from Kolkata. He's also an economist. Prasanjeet Bose, a couple of questions that arise at this point is that the RBI still hasn't given us numbers of the kind of cash it has, or black money it has managed to weed out of the system. And we keep hearing about the fact that the IT raids will happen, that it is now more difficult to accept cash. But, you know, anecdotal evidence will suggest to you that people who are doing business in this country, who have to interact with the government, are still being asked to pay bribes. So has corruption and black money actually come down? How do we tell?
No, it has not, and I think that those who are in this panel supporting, or who are claiming or asserting that certain objectives have been attained, they are basically flying kites. They are making vacuous assertions without even bothering to cite one figure, one data, one information which will prove what they are saying. And I think this is the basic problem here. The Reserve Bank of India, after 6 months, they are still counting the notes. After that middle of December announcement of almost 80% of currency notes coming back to the banking system, we are yet to hear from the Reserve Bank of India how many notes finally ended up in the banking system. The latest data on counterfeit currency, it shows that out of almost over 12 lakh crore of currency that came back, I think around 19 or 20 crore, which is 0.000, almost a negligible amount, as per the Finance Minister of State for Finance, what he informed the Parliament in the last session. This is the amount of counterfeit currency that seems to have been caught. As far as black money is concerned, whatever assertions are being made, it does not reflect either in the budget numbers which Mr. Jaitley presented. There is no huge increase in the revenue mobilization of the government, or whatever is being said, so many people, bank accounts will be tracked, these are all post-dated checks. These post-dated checks have been issued by BJP spokespersons for the past 3-4 months now. Where is that money? Where is that data showing up? Is it showing up in terms of how much money you have in that voluntary income disclosure scheme? Only about 2,300 crores. So are we to believe that only 2,300 crores worth of black money was there in our country when this demonetization was announced? And all the available data, the government, the way it shifted its goalposts from counterfeit currency and black money to cashless, now it is evident from the RBI data that cash is back, and cash is back in a big way. All the digital transactions, they have peaked in December, and since December, digital transactions have come down, and you have, the natural propensity of the Indian consumers and the Indian cash users. They are going back to cash in a big way. So I don't think that this cashless or less cash objective also has been met. And finally, as far as terror financing is concerned, I think that those who are saying that this has had any impact on curbing terrorism either in Kashmir or the Maoist insurgency in central India, in Chhattisgarh and so on, they just don't read newspapers or watch television.
That's a fair question. Let me take that question. Let me take that question, Prasanjeet, over to Narendra Taneja, who represents the BJP. Narendra Taneja, have the terror attacks come down? Have the Maoist attacks come down? Have we managed to clean up the system? Why won't the RBI share data with us? Why won't the government share data with us? Why won't the government tell us really how much black money you did manage to bring back into the system?
Well, first of all, answer to all your question is yes, 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 yes. Number one, it's important to understand what exactly was the main objective. Main objective was basically to introduce a new culture, economic culture, transaction culture, which is based on honesty, compliance and transparency. Let's not forget one thing. The previous speaker, panelist who was speaking, is important you identify him properly. He is a member, spokesperson of the Communist Party, so that your viewers can understand and see whatever he say with the right perspective. That's very important. He's not an economist. He's a member of the Communist Party. Coming back to this point, when it comes to black money, what has happened now today? Black money is. We are not saying that black money has been completely eradicated. It's completely gone. It's still there because there are some people who are still practicing it and even coming on television and defending it. But the point here is that the culture has really received a major setback. Now, number of people who are doing transactions like in gold, in jewelry, or in real estate, you just have to go out and ask the people who are buying or selling. What is the impact? It's a very positive impact. and in the sense that slowly the culture is changing. People are realizing if you're buying a house, you're buying a jewelry, is much better way to really do it the right way. Do it the way, for instance, where you disclose to the government amount you're paid, and at the same time you go and register yourself, and don't go for transactions in rupees. If you ask me, this is absolutely 100%. I wish we could have achieved more, but 100% success. The culture is changing.
Could have achieved more than 100% success.
Okay. I don't blame them. They don't want to see it.
Can I just give a brief response?
No, more than 100%. I wish it was more than 100%. Just
Can I give a brief response?
Let me finish, and you please can give your quick response after that. The important thing at the same time is that if you are saying that, you know, transactions in terms of digital and all that gone down, we are comparing with which year, for instance, which month? The point is that we have come out, the main objective was not actually only to introduce the, you know, complete digitization in terms of transaction. That was one of the objectives, but the main objective was basically to create this awareness, to introduce a new culture based on honesty, based on compliance, based on transparency. Let's not forget one thing, and your viewers would appreciate that, what they have seen from 2004 to 2004, all these scandalous scams, and Communist Party was part of it. You all know, that's why the spokesperson defending the Communist Party and bringing the, and defending it as strongly as he can. But the fact is, they were the one, and people were sick of it.
Okay.
So when we
Let's not circle back to politics. I'm going to give Prasanjeet Bose an opportunity to respond. Prasanjeet Bose, you've been called out as a member of the Communist Party, having an agenda to actually be against demonetization. Respond very quickly.
I don't want to respond to
these laughable. He is a member of Communist Party. Don't you know that? He's a spokesperson.
Go ahead, Prasanjeet Bose.
See, first of all, this BJP spokesperson is an ill-informed spokesperson. But I don't think, just like he is a member of the BJP, even if I had been a member of the Communist Party, I can still be an economist, and I have full right to state what I want to say. So, you know, being a member of any party in any case does not disqualify. He is also a member of the BJP. So what? The point is, who is talking sense? You, in your initial observations or whatever your response was, the basic point is, where are your facts? When you are making assertions that, you know, that we have achieved our targets, or we have achieved this or
but
that.
But you are speaking, my dear, you are speaking a political language, not the language of
wait. I heard you. I heard you out.
I don't have time for politics on this panel. If you're going to turn this into a political slugfest, I'm going to move on to the other voices that have joined us. Please. Praveen Khandelwal is the Secretary General of the Confederation of All India Traders. I do not have time for politics on this panel. I'm sorry, Praveen. The numbers that my team has dug out, and this is from the RBI website, show us that NEFT transactions, debit and credit card transactions and mobile banking transactions have come down sharply in the month of April. Have people gone back to using cash, Praveen?
Because of the simple reason that cash was available in the market, number one. But we should not forget that it was demonetization which led to usage of digital payment not only among the merchants but even at the consumer level. Had there been a stringent policy of the government to monitor this by way of introducing some kind of incentives and to promote digital payment in the country, the figures would have been little more attractive. On the other hand, we should not forget that India is a vast country. Overnight, we can't change the payment system, but whatever digital payment has been adopted as of now, earlier this was not the case.
So tell me, Praveen, do you believe demonetization has achieved its goals? Do you believe demonetization has achieved its goals?
I mean, I'm saying that demonetization has paved the way for adoption of digital payment in the country.
Okay. And do you believe demonetization has achieved its goals?
It has led to the change of culture, what Mr. Taneja was speaking a few minutes back.
Right. So okay, Praveen Khandelwal, a change of culture I will accept. A change of culture is very welcome. But that was not one of the 3 goals announced in November when demonetization was announced. The 3 goals are very specific. The 3 goals were to remove black money, to reduce counterfeit, to remove completely counterfeiting of notes of 500 and 1,000 rupees, and to reduce or to completely remove terror funding. Do you believe that demonetization has achieved those goals? Praveen Khandelwal.
I just want to make one single comment that it is only the digital payment usage which can meet all these objectives. So therefore, the main focus should be how to promote, educate and empower people for greater usage of digital payment. And I think demonetization has introduced this culture. It will take time, we all know.
Okay. So then my rebuttal question to that is, if we wanted to improve and to promote digital payments, was there a need to so drastically demonetize currency in order to do that? Couldn't we have done that in a phased manner? Professor Kamal Nayan Kabra, please tell us, where do you stand on demonetization?
I think to me it appears that the debate is somewhat misdirected, in the sense that the nature of the black economy phenomenon has very marginally connected itself with currency notes, so to say. The total size of the currency notes as a percentage of GDP has often been times. And any estimate that you have about the size of the black economy, and particularly the character of the black economy and the people and the institutions which are participates in it, then you will see that the essential character of the black economy is something which can only be marginally be dealt with by means of changing currency notes, because currency notes are a very small, tiny part of the total transactions of the GDP of the country. And in any case, GDP is not a measure of the total size of the economy, particularly in the black sector. Though it's a little technical question, I don't want to go into that. But one thing is clear, that if we look at the 3 or 4 main components of the black economy. One is that the large big business houses and people who spend lots of money on luxury consumption and so on. For example, huge marriages, huge party conclaves, huge funding of elections and so on. Now, none of these has come down at all. Then other thing is that you have seen at the same time in 2012, when this debate on the black economy took its center stage, the finance ministry came out with a paper on the white paper on black economy, where it says in a very clear terms that the most important form of it is Benami accounts, 2-number accounts, right, that you don't really represent what you are doing. They are mentioning 5 categories, and then each one is divided into that hundreds of means are there, whereby what you are doing, you are not reporting to the government. That it is a crime by the rich, powerful.
Your point is that that has not been targeted, and we have not achieved anything for Benami transactions.
Yeah,
we have not achieved anything for Benami property.
It only marginally can be touched to the extent that the people who had this unaccounted money with them, a large part of it was accounted. What happened is that people in business houses and so on, they made 3 major developments. One is they made advance payments. They paid their taxes and so on. Then second thing they did is they placed orders in advance, for example, to farm produce and things like that. And a very important thing that happened is that the transactions in property and this,
Right. Okay. So you're saying people got away and we didn't achieve our goals. Raghunathan, President of the All India Merchants Association in Chennai. Very quickly, where do you stand on the demonetization debate? Our phone lines are open. Our viewers are calling us with their views as well. Go ahead, Raghunathan.
But could I just have completed one more point about it? Recently, you have seen elections in Uttar Pradesh. Election funding takes place.
Professor Kabra, I'll come back to you. Professor Kabra, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you on that point of election funding. I just want to bring in all the voices. Yes, Raghunathan, go ahead.
The demonetization, we look at it from the angle of trade and industries prospects. No doubt, the first 2 months, the trade, especially small-scale industries, suffered the worst of it. The second, joblessness was increasing high. Cash flow problems were increasing. AMO published the first report in the first week of December and then the final report in the second week of January on the impact of demonetization. The intention we respect, we accept. But the way it got implemented, I must convey to you, very sadly done. The belt was tightened too much, then relaxed too much, then back and forth was going on, too many confusion, and they lost the vision at the end of the demonetization. The results are known. The December end, beginning January, the digital payment options have shrunk majorly by end of March. Statistics are there with every banks who increased almost 4 times the staff for online payments. They found them jobless at the end of February end when the cash was released. Today, we don't have any person who is voluntarily doing digital activities. We feel the NPA increase is because of the demonetization. We feel we have lost the track in between, inefficiently executed, unnecessary shock to the traders and small-scale industries, a big shock to the big players, jolted the foreigners coming into this country, doing business with neighboring countries which were accepting Indian currencies became a stopping block. People walking across the borders to buy activities from India became standstill. What did we achieve? What have we achieved? If the government has got excess funding, have we got relief in the income tax? Have we got relief for more funding to the small-scale traders? We are talking about NPA relaxation of rules. What relaxation has been happening? People have been suffering. Our Prime Minister announced on 31st of December, increase of 2 crores without security loan being given to the people. How many have got it? Even the earlier 1 crore loan, today you open a page and see advertisements of banks going after the properties for loan extended for even 20 lakhs, 15 lakhs under Sarfasai Road. What does it mean? They have not extended money without a security. Who is the real sufferer? The trade, industry, and the job. Is this what we wanted to achieve? This is definitely not what we wanted to achieve, but we ended up achieving. I saw somebody saying that lot of money has come into the system. Does he mean all the money which has been deposited bank into the bank is an unaccounted money? What is that we are talking?
Okay, all right. So very clear arguments here. Very clear arguments here. Very clear arguments here. Sanjay Jha.
I want to give an answer to these.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
May I please? Yeah. Firstly, I mean, I am not a politician. Do not represent any political party. My dear friend Mr. Bose says that in the budget, the income tax numbers do not reveal any higher collection. My dear friends, how could they reflect in the budget? People have to file their returns for the last year. What I said, I was very clear as an economist.
No.
This year when the returns are going to be filed. Please allow me to be please allow to complete. Allow me to complete, my dear friend. So
if the government does not have any indications.
Please.
On one side you are saying a lot of people have deposited unaccounted
would
money.
be higher and the compliance would be higher. Apart from being an economist, I am a businessman also, and regular touch with traders and people, and there is clear terror in the people who have been dealing, and they are dealing in black money. Now they know that they have to change the black money way. This is what we have achieved. Our another friend asked, what did we achieve? Now, when we talk about digital transactions, I think what we targeted, we have not achieved that way, because I think there were certain deficiencies in the plan of the government.
Okay, hang on. So let me take this back to Narendra Taneja and Sanjay Jha. Narendra Taneja. Narendra Taneja, I have a simple question for you. You said terror funding. 1 second, gentlemen, let's calm down. Narendra Taneja, you said terror funding has come down drastically. The truth is, stone pelting is still on in Kashmir, possibly stronger than it was earlier. We've had Maoist attacks that have plunged this entire country in grief with the number of people that we have lost since then. How have we cut off the supply of terror funding, Narendra Taneja?
Well, you see, the terror funding money was not coming only in Kashmir. It was going to Northeast, it was going to parts of Bengal, it was also going in other parts of the country. But when you look at the picture and the data available from now Intelligence Bureau and other similar agency, it has actually come down quite significantly. First 2 months it was down to almost zero, but now some people, it seems that they have found the way. But at the same time, if you are referring to Kashmir, the whole thing is limited only to 5 districts. These districts bordering Pakistan. And now that is being addressed and being checked. The reason there are more people pelting the store is simple, because they are frustrated, because they are not getting money now. And their leaders are not getting money. Hurriyat leaders are not getting money. That's the frustration. Wait for some time, that's being checked, and they will be.
So first they were pelting stones because they were getting money, now they are pelting stones because now they are not getting money.
Second point.
What kind of a spurious argument is this?
Please listen.
What are you saying? How can you
as far as the income tax collection data is concerned,
they were first.
Listen, Mr.
Directing the debate entirely.
The Communist Party spokesperson, let me address to the Communist Party spokesperson. As far as the income tax data is concerned, you see, you have to wait for the people have yet to file their return. Only then we will be able to share the data, and data will be shared with everybody, including the Communist Party. Spokesperson.
When will the data be shared? No. Narendra Taneja, very simple question. When will the data be shared? How long are we going to have to wait for this data? The government has been giving us anecdotal evidence for 6 months now. When are you going to give us actual hard data? When will the RBI release actual hard data, Mr. Taneja?
You allowed in 7 minutes, Bogolak. Everything is wrong with the country, he said. You have to allow me to rebut that.
The main debate about the character of the black economy is that the rich, the powerful and the influential, they violate the rules of the country, the economic laws, etc. And they
okay, let's allow Mr. Taneja an opportunity to rebut. Mare here are the questions that are being asked of you right now. 1 second, gentlemen, calm down. Here are the questions that are being asked to Mr. Taneja right now. One, job loss.
What we have been able to achieve in the first 6 months of that. That is the focus, and that's the focus.
Mr. Taneja, terror funding, have you managed to bring down terror funding? If you're telling me now that there's stone pelting happening now because they don't have money, earlier there was stone pelting happening because they did have money, where is the solution? And then how was demonetization a solution to stone pelting? Secondly, Maoist attacks continue. Thirdly, job loss. What's happening with job loss? And finally, this is my simple question. When will the government give us hard data about the money that was collected? How much black money did we actually manage to bring back into the system?
The money which were with the terrorists, have they deposited?
Very good question. Now you have to allow me time to answer.
Let him answer.
You would recall the statement. You would recall the statement made by Dr. Manmohan Singh, the former Finance Minister of India, for 10 years Prime Minister of the country of UPA1, of which Communist Party was a partner. He said on the floor of the Parliament that the
don't give us a political answer. Don't give me a political answer. I didn't ask you political questions, Mr. Taneja. I did not ask you political questions. I asked you data questions. Give me data-based answers, please.
You have to allow me to respond. He has been making allegations.
See, quite frankly, let's not get into this. I am BJP, you are Communist Party, my audience doesn't care. If you have data to share with us, either of you, please share data. I haven't got to Sanjay Jha yet. Sanjay Jha.
1 minute.
Sanjay Jha has not made his opening arguments. Sanjay Jha, please go ahead.
You have to also allow me to respond.
Your question on data is wrong.
You have to allow me to finish.
1 second. You all are all speaking at the same time. 1 second. 1 second.
0.5%.
When your fish market quietens down, I will speak.
Your question on asking for
coming
data
to the
is
jobs.
misleading.
If you allow me coming to jobs,
no.
I mean,
can I come in?
Mr. Taneja, finish your answer, and then Mr. Misra can speak. Mr. Taneja, go ahead.
2.5%. Didn't he say that?
Let me tell you.
And
there is a fundamental issue in the way you are...
One at a time, please, gentlemen. One at a time. I believe you all are both on the same side. One at a time. Mr. Taneja, finish your answer on jobs so that the other guests can speak.
How you look at it. If you are a prisoner of an ideology, you won't be able to take an objective view. If you are prisoner of ideology, how can you take an objective view?
Objective views
so
are not
take an
party
objective
views, my
view
dear friend.
and of an economist, then you reach to the right conclusion.
So
you see, our whole objective was, as I said, I repeat, our whole objective, the most important objective was bring honesty, compliance and transparency. Ask me the question, have we managed to do that? The question is, on these three things, we have delivered very, very successfully. The entire country is behind us. That's why we are winning election straight after election, and Congress is being wiped out. And communists, you don't find only in museums now.
Okay, Sanjay Jha. All right. You keep giving me political answers. I don't have time for political answers. Sanjay Jha, where do you stand on demonetization? I want to point out, Sanjay Jha. One second, Mr. Mishra, I'll come to you. Mr. Taneja, you keep asking for time, but you're constantly giving me political answers about the Communist Party. I want data. Here's one piece of data, Sanjay Jha. On the 27th of April, the Sensex hit 30,000. It was an all-time high. Nobody was expecting, one second, Mr. Taneja. Nobody was expecting the Sensex to do that well. When in November we heard the demonetization announcement, everybody expected the market to crash. Now, Sanjay Jha, given that evidence that the Sensex stayed at 30,000 post that as well, roundabouts, and has not crashed down since then, where do you stand on demonetization?
Fair, thanks for belatedly recognizing that I was there on your panel. Having said that, to link a demonetization in the Indian economy to the Bombay stock market behavior is trivializing, I think, the core issue of economics in this country. I mean, just find out how many people are really stock market investors and then let's talk about it. At a fundamental point, I don't want to take too long. You can dedicate this program to the BJP spokesperson and his rebuttals, but I'll make just points in 30 seconds. Firstly, this was a political decision. I don't think demonetization was ever meant to bring about the objectives that, that they talked about. The answers to which are very obvious. It was a political decision. It was taken with an objective to give the government and Mr. Modi an image as being an anti-corruption crusader, because there were questions being asked of the government and they had no answers. What is the simple answer? The fact is that only 6% of the black marketeers truly keep cash at home. So at the very premise is faulty, because if you had to demonetize, you knew that at best you could get 6% of that black money recovered. Now by December 13, the RBI said 1,44,000 crores of cash was back into the system. That's 80%. Now in the next 3 weeks, we don't know how much of the cash came in. Now why isn't anybody asking this question of the RBI and the government, that if you could count 80% of the cash between November 8th and December 13th, why has it taken 4 months thereafter to count the balance 20%? I mean, this is bizarre, it's preposterous, and there is an attempt to be opaque. And on terror funding, you have the answers. We can see what's going on in Jammu Kashmir. We all know what happened in Chhattisgarh. And as far as fake counterfeit currency is concerned, the amount is only 19 crores. Is a laughable number. The demonetization is nothing but a monumental disaster, and if India has to lose 150 lives for this new objective of the culture, then I think I must say this government is the most callous government that the world may have ever seen. The truth, Faye, and I don't want to take too long, the truth is that demonetization has failed. When you see the new GDP numbers and when you see progressively the economy go forward, you'll recognize that it made no difference at the tangible level on the ground. And the sources of black money are at the moment totally unchecked, and cash is back in the system. Good luck to Mr. Modi and his dubious,
but let me just point out that the GDP number was well past 7. The GDP number was well past 7. R.K. Mishra wanted to respond. R.K. Mishra,
well said. It is very questionable.
Very well said. Factor in demonetization.
Okay, one at a time. Gentlemen, one at a time. R.K. Mishra, go ahead.
Sanjay Jha, Robert Wagner supporting Arvind Kejriwal.
I think we have heard BJP.
Robert Wagner supporting Arvind Kejriwal.
Stay on point, please. Stay on point. Gentlemen, please stay on point. R.K. Mishra, please go.
Come on.
Stop making it cheap and political, Mr. Taneja.
So
Stop making it cheap and political. May I remind you that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is alleged to have made money on the Birla Sahara
no, hang on. Gentlemen, I have phoners, I have viewers on the phone line who have voices that they want to bring in. Please let Mr. R.K. Mishra make his point so I can bring in the viewers. I don't want to hear political arguments. This is very clearly about jobs. This is clearly about money. This is about citizens. Mr. Mishra, please go ahead.
Please allow independent economists to speak. I think we have enough of our politicians. Am I allowed to speak?
What happened to the black money?
This is an economic issue. So please allow me to come in and speak.
No, you are not allowed because you are talking nonsense. Please.
Who are you to decide that what I am talking? I have a right to give my opinion. Who are you to be judgmental about what I am saying? I am giving you some numbers.
Don't waste our time.
Which is highest in the bigger nations. We are the 6th largest economy.
Hang on.
Sensex would reflect only if the GDP is growing. And the black money is going away from the economy.
Akash Jindal, let me remind you that you and R.K. Mishra are on the same side. You and R.K. Mishra are on the same side. Allow him to please finish his point. And everybody will get equal time to talk on this show. Mr. Mishra, please finish your point.
So I think you have given sufficient time to politicians. Now it's economists. It's an economic debate. We should get sufficient time, isn't it?
Everybody will get sufficient time.
I'm not a politician, fool.
Mr. Mishra, go ahead.
Mr. Jindal, can you please wait? So this, I think, it is very unfortunate that two political parties of Mr. Sanjay Jha and Mr. Taneja, please, you have enough of opportunities. Nation wants to know a little bit about demonetization. So your tutu meme and abuses, can you please keep it for some other time? Now coming to the point of the data, you've been asking the data. I think let's look at it. What kind of data do you expect? Is there assumption that all 500 and 1000 rupees have come in? Yes, it has come in. Is there assumption? Some gentleman said 6%. I don't know how he found out that black money is only in 6%. Maybe he was managing the black money, so he knows about it. Nobody knows. Basic assumption is every small trader, every distributor was doing 50% of the business
statements, my dear friend.
And majority of that
Grow
cash,
up. Talk like a responsible, mature man. What do you mean?
Can you keep
there are
quiet?
income tax estimates available.
Your time will come.
One second.
Stop making bizarre statements here. Stop sounding personal.
Can you keep quiet? So you
tell that gentleman to stop making personal statements here.
What the hell you are doing?
He needs to apologize for making a personal statement. Apologize for making that personal remark. You apologize for making that personal remark. You have no business to make a personal remark.
Listen, gentlemen, I'm going to stop both of you here because neither of you are answering my question.
He has to apologize for making that statement.
Just allow me to make some points. I'm waiting.
I'm extremely disappointed in the route this debate is taking because nobody is addressing the point. I just want to remind the gentlemen on this panel one thing. There were senior citizens who died during demonetization. There were women in the Anganwadis who did not get money. There were children who didn't get fed. There was a farm sector that struggled. There were small traders that struggled. People lost their jobs. Now, the country went through that process. All I'm asking for is what did we achieve? Why is it that we can't sit down and have a clear conversation about what we achieved without, devolving into these political slugfests? Simply, what did we achieve? It is a question of data. It is a question of money. We should have the data by now. We closed the financial year. Why don't we know yet what we have achieved? Akash Jindal, I will give you 30 seconds since you keep saying that we should allow you to make a point. Please go ahead and make your point, Akash Jindal.
The taxes
I totally support you when you talk about those 52 days. I think BJP has to do a lot of answering because it was not managed well. I have already said that and I reiterate that. Now, what we have got, these are numbers which I am throwing. 7% GDP growth. This is highest amongst the comparable nations. Nobody can question. We are the 6th largest economy. Sensex, as you have said, it is at 30,000. Economy is growing. People are doing more compliance and we are going towards becoming a compliant nation and it's reflecting in the numbers. Data is showing that. And again, why this cashless economy thing has not been that successful? Because government has to increase the network and connectivity. We are not having that sort of network and connectivity and government want to be too fast regarding that. So I think cashless, we are becoming cashless, but the government wanted to speed it up expedite it up at a very fast pace.
I refuse to believe. I take your point, Akash Jindal. I refuse to believe that 100 citizens' lives needed to be sacrificed because we wanted to speed up digitization. I'm sure we could have sped up digitization and laid the cables and brought in the Wi-Fi spots without making our people die. Let us acknowledge the 100 people who died during the demonetization process, who would have been alive today had we thought it through. Purna's on the phone line from Chennai.
145 people.
Purna's on the phone line from Chennai. Purna, please go ahead. I'm sorry I kept you waiting for this long. Purna.
Yeah, thank you. Following demonetization, of course, an awareness, a very large awareness about digital transactions has been brought about. To the most interior parts of several villages also it has reached. But now, as a common citizen, I am a little hesitant to use my debit or credit card, especially on the internet, even at the ATM sometimes, to withdraw money because of the frauds that are happening on debit and credit cards. It gives me a fear to use it.
Okay, so you're worried about cybercrime, and that is true. Purna's making a very good point. The instances of cybercrime, the instances of credit and debit card fraud have gone up over the last few months. YP Garg is on the phone line from Chandigarh. Mr. Garg, go ahead.
Yes, I'm a 70 years old citizen, a senior citizen.
Yes.
I went to Australia on 19th of August.
Yes.
2016. I was carrying some money. With me and left some money with my daughter in Panchkula to pay my dues in my absence, just like LIC premium, maintenance of the flat, electricity bill, etc.
Okay. What happened, Mr. Garg?
Then, when this notebandi was declared, I sent her a authority letter to deposit the left out money in my bank account. Then she deposited the amount, 50,000, in my account. And when I came back to India on 21st of January, I got a certificate from the Custom Authority at Indira.
Right. What happened, sir? What happened to the money?
Then I deposited 17,000 in RBI New Delhi on 30th.
So you were allowed to change your money. Was that a problem, Mr. Garg? Did you face a problem?
Yes, my problem is they rejected my case. They say we cannot accept your money as you have already deposited 50,000.
Okay. So you've had a problem as a senior citizen accessing your own money. Balakrishnan is on the phone line from Kerala. Mr. Balakrishnan, I'm running out of time. Very quickly, tell us what you'd like to say.
Sir, just demonetization.
Yes.
Hello, hearing? Are you hearing?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Just by demonetization, black money and corruption will not be ended in democratic country like India. We are having 125 crore people of different characters, different religions, different faith, different caste. But demonetization in the last year has given some effect in our economy. To some extent, we have our economic system has been transferred to digitalization, and people have the awareness regarding the corruption is very bad for the country. So to that extent, it has been succeeded, but I am not telling that 100% it is succeeded.
Okay, all right. So you're saying it's been successful to some point. I just have room for two very quick closing arguments. I'm going to go back to RK Misra. RK Misra, very quickly. RK Misra, on our point of data. Raghunathan, I see you. Very quickly. You're saying that data is not available.
Can I come in?
But if the RBI can put out data, and we've noticed that digital transactions have gone down, then people are going back to cash. We're going to go back to where we were, RK Misra.
No. Understood. So the data is important. What you're saying, the people have deposited money in the bank. That doesn't mean that money is accounted for, or is it white money. By the time the income tax returns are filed, you will know what happened by 31st March in that amnesty scheme and what happens by 31st July. That will be a fair judgment of what happened. See, everybody believed that there was black economy, which was cash economy. That money has come into the system. Let's assume even 25 or 50% people managed to convert their black into white somehow. But still 50% of black economy
has been evaporated because of the money coming to the system, and it you'll know by end of July when the people file the returns, not today, and by September when the companies file the return. So asking for data today is a little premature. On cash, yes, there was a spurt because people initially had no option because no cash. It will stabilize and slowly it will increase because people are getting used to it. It's a country where
Mr. Misra, the data suggests that it actually went down again. That chart was just on our screen. It went down again. Raghunathan, as in your experience as a trader, the data doesn't support your argument, Mr. Misra, that it will stabilize and then go up. People are going back to cash. Raghunathan, go ahead. And also let me point out to you, if banks are going to charge us a transaction fee for every time we take money out, people are going to keep more and more money in cash. Raghunathan, go ahead.
They should.
No, I think, I think the biggest issue is we introduced a biggest change around policy, but the people who implemented the policy failed to listen to the sufferers of the policy. They have not taken corrective steps. Till today, all the people in the ministry, either Commerce Ministry or Finance Ministry, keep saying it was a great decision, wonderful decision, but they fail to understand ground realities. They fail to listen to the people who are sufferers. They fail to do corrective steps clearly.
Right.
Forget anything else. The Prime Minister has not met the industrial trade bodies at all in the last 5 months. Forget anything else. The Commerce Minister has not addressed the job losses significantly. They keep debating who is right, who is wrong. We are not saying let both be right, but the sufferer is the people.
The sufferer is the people. But let me take what R.K. Misra has said. All right, Raghunathan, unfortunately I have to wrap up this conversation. Unfortunately, from the government came largely vague answers. R.K. Misra says by the end of July or early September, we will find out what the numbers are. I will bring this panel together when we have hard numbers. Hopefully, the RBI by that time will be able to share with us hard data, because we're talking about money, we're talking about cash flow. Everything can be tracked. You should be able to tell what you've achieved. You've not managed to bring down stone pelting in Kashmir. This was one of your targets. You have actually costed us jobs. They've actually costed us lives. We understand the people have gone back to using cash because digital transactions have come down in the month of April, and that is a trend that we're noticing. So are we actually, after 6 months, after 8 months, going back to where we were pre-demonetization? What are the changes on the ground? And we're going to keep asking this question. We're not going to forget the 100 Indians who died. They will not have died in vain. If we forget to ask these questions on a regular basis, then we will have lost lives without accountability. We demand accountability for demonetization because so many people struggled during that period, and they have the right to ask those questions. We will ask those questions on their behalf. Thanks for watching.